My mother didn't lower her voice when she said it. It would be better if you don't come tomorrow. You spoil everything. The room went quiet in that sharp, suffocating way that makes your chest feel too small. My sister stood behind her, pretending to fix her veil, not looking at me. No one argued. No one even shifted. I didn't cry. I didn't ask why. I just nodded like it made sense. Like I had always known this was coming. I went upstairs, closed my door, and packed a small bag without thinking. Each item felt like it belonged to someone else's life. Someone who still thought she had a place here. I left before sunrise. No goodbye. No message. No scene. Just silence. For 2 months, I didn't reach out. Neither did they. Then one evening, my phone lit up with a number I hadn't seen in years. My mother's friend, the one who used to watch everything and say nothing. Her voice shook. She saw it, she whispered. Saw what? I asked. Your wedding video, online. I didn't respond. She fainted, the woman said. Right there in the living room. I closed my eyes, steady. Then she added, quieter now. And when she woke up, she kept repeating one name. I didn't ask which name. I already knew it would matter. Whose name? I said, anyway. There was a pause. Not long. Just enough to make it feel heavier. Your father's, she said. I let that sit between us. Cold. Unfamiliar. My father? I repeated. She hasn't said his name in years. I know, the woman replied. That's why it scared her. I leaned against the counter, gripping the edge. My father wasn't a memory in that house. He was a silence. Something erased so completely it felt like he never existed. What exactly did she see? I asked. Your wedding, she said. But not just the ceremony. The guest list. The people around you. I didn't speak. She kept pointing at the screen. The woman continued, saying it didn't make sense. That none of those people should be there. That made me smile, just barely. Who did she expect? I asked. You know who, she said quietly. Yes. I did. A small, carefully chosen crowd. People approved. People controlled. Instead, she saw something else entirely. What else? I pressed. Another pause. This one longer. When the video reached the reception, she said slowly. It zoomed in on the head table. My breath tightened. And that's when she saw him. The name she wasn't supposed to remember. I didn't ask her to describe him. I already knew what she saw. Not a ghost. Not a memory. A man. Real. Breathing. Sitting at my table like he belonged there. Are you still there? She asked. I'm here, I said. She kept saying it couldn't be him, the woman continued. That he was gone. That you wouldn't. Her voice trailed off. I let the silence stretch. Let her feel it. Because this wasn't confusion. It was recognition. What did she do next? I asked. She replayed it, she said. Again and again. Pausing. Zooming. Like she was trying to prove herself wrong. That sounded like her. Control the narrative. Even when it's already broken. And then, I pressed. She started shaking, the woman whispered. Said your name like she'd never said it before. That almost made me laugh. Did she call me? I asked. No, she said quickly. She just kept staring at him. At him. The man she erased. The man she buried without a grave. Tell me something, I said, my voice steady. Yes. Did she notice where he was sitting? A beat passed. Yes, she said slowly. And that's when she realized. I added quietly. He wasn't just a guest. He was at the head table, she said, almost whispering. Yes, I replied. Exactly where he belongs. She didn't answer right away. You need to understand, she finally said, voice tight. This changes everything. No, I said calmly. It reveals everything. I could picture it now. My mother frozen, eyes locked on the screen, trying to rewrite what she was seeing. But truth doesn't bend for comfort. Did she say anything else? I asked. She kept asking how it was possible, the woman said. How you even found him. I let out a slow breath. She didn't find him, I said. I did. That was the part she would never accept. Not that I was excluded, but that I chose a different life anyway. She thought she ended that story, the woman murmured. She ended her version of it. I corrected. There was a difference. A big one. And your sister? I asked. She didn't say much, she replied. Just stood there, watching her video, like it was something dangerous. Good. Let it be dangerous. Let it unsettle them. Tell me, I said softly. Did the video show the moment we stood up to speak? A pause. Yes. I closed my eyes briefly. Then she heard it. I said. He called me his daughter. Silence filled the line after that. Not the empty kind. The heavy kind. The kind that forces truth to settle where it was never allowed before. She didn't react well, the woman said carefully. I didn't expect her to, I replied. How long have you known? She asked. I stared out the window, watching strangers pass like they belonged somewhere. Long enough, I said. Long enough to stop asking permission. Because that was the real shift. Not finding him. Accepting him. She always said he left, the woman whispered. She always said a lot of things, I answered. Things that kept her in control. Things that kept me small. But he didn't leave like that, did he? She pressed. I let the question breathe. No, I said finally. He didn't leave. He was pushed out. And I was raised inside that silence. Inside that version of the truth that made everything simpler. Cleaner. Safer for her. She's unraveling, the woman said. I know, I replied. Because when one lie collapses, it doesn't fall alone. It drags everything with it. And when the video reached the vows, she added slowly, she stood up like she couldn't breathe. My fingers tightened slightly. Did she hear what I said? I asked. Yes, she whispered. I nodded once. Good. Because that was the moment everything became irreversible. What exactly did she hear? The woman asked. I took a breath, steady but deep. She heard me tell the truth, I said. Not all of it. Not the messy parts. Just enough. She kept saying you were being manipulated, the woman replied. That someone filled your head with lies. I almost smiled. That would be easier, wouldn't it? I said. To believe I'm confused instead of aware. She doesn't think you'd do this on your own, she added. That stung more than I expected. Not anger. Something sharper. She never did, I said quietly. That was the pattern. I wasn't difficult. I was influenced. I wasn't distant. I was misled. I wasn't choosing. I was controlled. She said your wedding was a mistake, the woman continued. Of course she did. Because it wasn't hers to shape. Not the guest list. Not the vows. Not the man standing beside me. And when your father stood to speak, she said slowly, she started shouting. I closed my eyes, picturing it. Her voice cutting through the room. Trying to override something already set in motion. What did she say? I asked. That it wasn't real, the woman whispered. I let that land. Then I said, calm and certain, she knows it is. Because denial only works until the evidence speaks back. After that, the woman said, she tried to turn it off. I exhaled slowly. She couldn't, I replied. No, she said. Your sister stopped her. That surprised me. She said your mother needed to watch it, the woman added. All of it. I leaned back, absorbing that. My sister, who stayed quiet the night I was erased. Now forcing her to look. What happened next? I asked. They argued, she said. Loud enough the neighbors heard. That sounded familiar. Only this time, I wasn't there to absorb it. She kept saying you humiliated her, the woman continued. I let out a soft breath. No, I said. I just lived without her. That was the difference she couldn't accept. Independence feels like betrayal to someone who depends on control. She asked why you didn't invite her, the woman said. I paused. That question lingered. Did my sister answer? I asked. Yes, she said. I waited. She told her. Because you told her not to come. That hit something deep. Not painful. Final. And your mother? I asked. She went quiet, the woman whispered. I nodded once. Because for the first time, there was nothing left for her to rewrite. Only one thing remained. Did she say my name again? I asked. Yes, she said. But this time it sounded like she was asking for me. I didn't call her back. Not that night. Not the next. I let the silence stay where it belonged. For years, I chased answers that never came. I softened myself to fit inside her version of me. Smaller, quieter, easier to dismiss. Now she finally had questions. And I wasn't rushing to answer them. Do you think she'll try to reach you? The woman asked carefully. Yes, I said. Will you respond? I looked at the reflection in the window. For the first time, it felt like mine. I don't know, I admitted. Because closure isn't always a conversation. Sometimes it's distance. She keeps replaying the video, the woman added. Especially the end. I smiled faintly. Of course she did. That was the part she couldn't undo. Does she understand now? She asked. I thought about it. The wedding. The speech. The name that changed everything. Yes, I said finally. She understands. Not everything, but enough. Enough to know I didn't disappear. I stepped out and built something real. Without her permission. Without her approval. Without her. The line went quiet after that. And for the first time in my life, silence didn't feel like rejection. It felt like peace.